put all of the issues on the table, to have the right decision makers at the table, and that's not just the Prime Minister, but under the Constitution of Canada, decisions that impact First Nations people also include provincial governments. So it was appropriate to seek a First Minister's meeting on First Nations issues that included provincial premiers at the table where decisions could be made. Now, we continue to do the work on this. The Prime Minister has rejected the idea in writing, but the Prime Minister's not always going to be there. You know, politically, there's going to be different governments that emerge. You know, there's the Liberal Party that's rebuilding itself under a new leader. You know, there's going to be changes. There's always shifts in Canadian governments, and maybe a different government will be a little more inclusive, a little more open to using the power of the Constitution of Canada towards reconciling a lot of these outstanding issues. So that is a lot of the work that we're doing right now. You know, we're putting together that piece, that national strategy, which I believe feeds into a national process, which I believe could even be a platform that somebody could work with and to develop if they wanted to take the issue to a national level beyond here in Manitoba. And that is the scope of the discussion that I wanted to have with you this afternoon. I know it's 20 after 1 now. I did want to leave the field open for questions because you know, the presentation that I wanted to provide you with was partly academic, but it was partly based on the experiences that I've had from being a chief and a grand chief. And at times, you know, when I was a student, I used to wonder, well, what are the chiefs doing? What is AMC? What is MKO? What is SCO? What do they do and how do they work together? Those questions remained outstanding until I actually went out and I started working and beginning to develop my understanding of them. And I think that there has to be a bridge that's built between, you know, the experiences on the ground and the political organizations with what the students are doing, because the students are leaders as well. Just because you don't have a headdress, or maybe you do, it doesn't mean that your commitment is not the same as my commitment. And I think that's what we have to recognize as we move forward. The commitments of people to learn and to be part of the decision making and to be positioned to make informed and educated decisions. And that's what I really respect about being a student, is that you forego the big paychecks. You forego the nice headdresses. And you forego the accolades and you put that aside. You know, maybe sometimes you run out of food, because I know I did as a student. But you forego that because of your commitment to your family and what this all means to you. And I respect that, and that's what I wanted to end off by saying, is that these treaties that we talk about, well, they're your treaties and you're living them. You're living the experiences right now. And I want you to take ownership of them. I want you to recognize how relevant they are today to what you do and how relevant they could be to the future of our people and the children that you bring into the world, how relevant they could be to them too. That's what this is all about, is taking ownership again and remembering that these documents and these agreements that our ancestors made were intended to be there forever and to accrue to your benefit. And I maintain that message throughout pretty much everything I do. And when I look at some of the political maneuvering that's happening within our organizations, at the Assembly of First Nations, but also a lot of the policies that come through, I'm able to see past all that stuff because I maintain my grasp on the fundamentals that have been taught to me by my experience within my family at a young age, within the academic environment, as well as the experience of working with the elders and all the teachers out there that I think have put me on the good path. So, with that said, that is my presentation for today. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to field one or two questions.